Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller. I like the way you guys just turn that smile on
Just
when
get
the
Right
camera
there,
comes
baby.
in.
Right there.
You're really not all that happy this morning.
we
I
are.
know.
How do you know?
Look, I'm happy to be alive.
I'm glad to be in Tennessee and not New York.
I am
Oh, my
too,
goodness.
very much so.
Oh, my
I've been
goodness, what a
watching it,
mess.
though. I've been
That's a
watching the
mess
news.
up there.
I'm sure you guys saw the crane that had blown
Yeah.
over, you know, and I think this morning it was still just hanging.
Was
there.
it still
There's
hanging?
not much
'Cause
they
I
can
haven't
do
watched
about it
the
right
news
now.
this morning.
What amazes me is that, you know how it is with internet and Facebook and computers and all the things you can do. I've seen the Statue of Liberty everywhere from almost completely underwater to pictures of the Statue of Liberty with a big cloud coming in behind
Right.
it that's ominous and looks like the end of the world. And then Philip showed me something just a minute ago where Godzilla is going to come and fight the storm tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're bringing Godzilla over from Japan to fight the storm.
Is that where he lives?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He was. Don't you remember he used to be in all those Talk Now, Hear Later movies?
Yeah.
So
Godzilla
will come and take care
versus
of everything.
Godzilla's going to take care of all of it.
Isn't it fascinating that
This
they
is
could
it.
empty New York City?
It really is, and you mentioned earlier
just
that
blew
it's a
my
little
mind.
bit, you know, it's
How
weird
about
when you
millions?
see it. Yeah.
It's like when the Jets play.
There you go.
That'll empty New York City.
You know, and I saw somewhere yesterday where if the wind speed on the ground is like 85, then it's probably over 100 if you're
In the high rise.
If you're in the high rises, you know, I guess you don't feel that movement, but I know those buildings are designed to move a little bit. But
I feel like you feel it. Don't you think you feel it?
Oh, I'll guarantee you they feel it. But
I feel
they're
that
probably
too.
used to it, because I would imagine that even any kind of wind affects that somewhat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
I mean, if you're living up on the 200th floor or something, or you're used to that kind of deal, I would imagine, because those buildings move.
Well,
And like you say, they're constructed that way. I mean, there's stuff that has to be done there to make them safe that allows that to happen.
Well, my cousins from Texas are at my house this week, and they have a granddaughter in one of those high rises on Manhattan, and she didn't plan to come down or
Nah.
go to a safe place. She was just going to ride it out. She wasn't at all scared. So, you know, I guess you get used to it,
I
don't
guess
you?
so.
Well, that's
I
like,
guess so.
when those hurricane people, a lot of them down south, I mean, that means there's going to be good waves for surfing.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, they go
Maybe.
they
Yeah.
go find, they go
They're happy
looking
as a
for
lark.
it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, go looking for it. So
Have you ever been surfing?
yeah,
I haven't.
I haven't either.
I would think that would be a great sense of freedom out there. Did you like it?
yeah, until I saw Jaws.
Oh,
That sort of affected. I love the ocean and still do, but I still that is.
they kind of sobered you up, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because I can remember running and just diving in the ocean and
It felt so good.
felt wonderful till you come up in a bunch of jellyfish, but
Right. Yeah.
that's okay. Now coming up without a leg, that's not so
That's
good.
another story altogether.
Not so good, but
It's like playing golf at Hilton Head when the gators come up.
yeah,
You kind of want to go home.
yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, you can have them.
That would have to be scary.
Yeah.
Playing golf and an alligator.
Well,
come
we were in
walking
Hilton
by.
Head, and I was just standing on the porch of this little condo, and there's a little small lake-like thing out there, and somebody's dog was going across, and just
Disappeared.
the alligator was just like that, grabbed him, and he was gone. And guess who high-stepped it into the car? It was frightening.
You weren't going to go wading.
No, I wasn't
I
about
saw
to go
something
wading.
the other day about where these guys were playing golf on some resort by the sea, and they were getting ready to tee off, and a shark fell onto
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
onto the tee. Yeah, and because of the wounds, the shark was still alive, by the way, as well. And,
Fell on the tee.
yeah, it was not a big shark.
Yeah.
But
Fell from where?
well, they surmised that some sort of big bird had got him. Whatever.
Oh, I
you know,
see,
because it
and
was
he
kind
dropped.
of a baby. Yeah.
A
and-
real big bird.
Yeah, I would think so. If he's hauling a shark around, he's a pretty good sized bird.
What do you think? He
That
was
was,
great.
let's see, who was that? Who was that? That
No,
was
I believe I really did
Godzilla.
read
Who was
that.
the bird? Rodan?
Yeah, that was it. That was
Rodan.
the Rodan.
Rodan was the big bird monster that the Japanese came
Yeah.
up with. That's who had the shark, Rodan.
Yeah, that, I'm sure it probably
Big enough
was.
bird
Yeah.
to help,
Picking
to have a shark.
Picking up a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on here? Lots
What's
of things.
going on here? Everything's going on here.
Halloween almost?
Halloween's
Haunted house, is that
right
still
around the
going
corner.
on?
Haunted House of South Jackson's that was over this past weekend. I'm sure there's haunted stuff going on. There's the city is having, or the downtown area is having safe trick-or-treating on
That's a really nice thing to
Wednesday
do.
afternoon for a lot of
Manchester's
the
having
children.
safe on the square
Are they?
tomorrow afternoon. Or
And
if you're watching this on Thursday, it's already passed.
It's done.
Yeah, but
a lot of the churches are having trunk or treat,
Trunk or treat.
where you dig in a trunk and find something, I guess. Maybe a body. I mean, it's Halloween. Wouldn't you think that'd be a good place to hide a body?
yeah, that'd
the
be
trunk.
First Baptist Church that's doing that. I think
Yeah.
it's all home.
Halloween's getting a little too big.
Halloween's huge. I would imagine you watch the Today Show tomorrow morning. All those morning shows, there's no telling how much money they spend
Oh, yeah.
on dressing those people up. You know, all of Matt Lauer and all those folks, and I'm sure the other ones on the other networks will have regalia all over them, you know, and
Yeah, we should have dressed. Well,
dollars
actually,
and dollars
we did,
and
didn't
dollars
we?
and dollars. Yeah,
We definitely dress.
Yeah.
And this
Uh-huh.
weekend, this Friday night, Tullahoma High School plays its first game in the playoffs, and they'll be playing White County,
That should be
Sparta,
exciting.
and that
should
will be
exciting.
at Wilkins Stadium, 7 o'clock Friday night. Need to fill the stands up with folks there. I don't know about our other. I don't. Coffee County.
Coffee County's
is not in the
season is
playoff.
over, yeah.
And I don't know about Shelbyville. I think. I don't know. I should know.
I should know that too. Now you got me
I
on that
don't.
one.
Fiddler on the Roof opens in Manchester
This
at the Art
weekend?
Center this weekend. It does, and that should be an exciting event because Robert Hires from here is playing Tevye. That's the lead, and it should be a wonderful production. So I encourage
If
people
I
to
were
come
a
up.
rich man.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, you could
All
have done
day
that.
long, dum. If I were a wealthy man. Oi!
I'm gonna have to see if Jack Dandy won't send me something up here to help me get through this opening segment. You know?
You think Jack? Did you go to the barbecue? Jack
No, I
Daniels
didn't
barbecue.
get
That was
I
this past
I
weekend.
didn't get there this weekend. No, I didn't.
You had to do billing, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I did. Yeah.
It's
Actually, I
amazing
did.
what we'll forego to make sure our bills go out.
There you
isn't
go. You have to.
it? You have to.
You have to.
That's a fact. But we have several people on the show today. It's going to be a fun show today.
I saw our
Ricky
fireman.
Chastain's here.
Yeah.
He always knows stuff. Richard is our fire chief is my go-to guy. When all else fails in the news, you know, and I can't do anything else, I go to Richard because he can talk about anything.
He will
It
pull
doesn't matter.
you out every time.
Yeah, he's real good on weather.
Yeah.
You know, he knows a lot about weather too. So when all that, you know, when everything else fails, Richard's my go-to guy.
And we have Jackie Duncan, Winston Brooks. We have a great show coming up.
Yeah, we're tickled to have Jackie on here. He has a new book, and Jackie's a writer. And Winston Brooks is our new go-to guy at the city for all of those things.
Right.
Debbie Graham
Did she
left her
retire?
post, and Winston has taken over that position and just instantly has become very involved in the community.
Which is good. He had some big shoes to fill.
Understands what's going on. You see him everywhere you go, taking pictures. His Facebook page is just covered up with Tullahoma. Matter of fact, he's so busy, it's taken us almost 2 months to get him to come to this show.
But he is good about sending us emails and stuff.
He is,
about what's
press
going on.
releases
Yeah,
and all of that
yeah,
stuff.
Those
So,
are quite helpful. Yes.
So we're looking forward to discussing all kinds of stuff with Winston, and we have some other things planned for today. You never can tell what might happen.
And don't forget the beautiful leaves. They're still out there.
Leaves are out
They'll
there.
be blown off.
No, they're still there.
But driving up to Virginia last week, it was just an awesome scene. And it's great to have a few moments just to stop and think about the beauty of this universe.
Yep.
And
It
I'm
is.
glad that I left Virginia when I did.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Did you drive up there by yourself?
My daughter went with
Oh, I
me,
see.
Shannon, and we always have a good time. We get to visit. I love driving up. I'm glad I didn't have to get a plane out of there.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is a perfect time of year to have that
Beautiful
trip.
time to drive, yeah.
Speaking of getting a plane, it'll take weeks before all that gets straightened out,
yeah.
won't it? All the flights that have canceled. and
Well, you know,
everything.
it's funny. Of course, we watch a lot of football, and a lot of these pro teams, you know, of course, they're flying here and there, and they were all wondering whether they would be able to get back home, the East Coast ones, and then I think New England was playing even over in Europe, playing in England.
Well, I'm sure all the
And-
airports are
and the
closed
airports
in
are-
the
yeah, I
East
mean,
Coast. I know
and
LaGuardia and
everybody's closed
everybody's closed. Well, they'd have to be.
up in New York.
Yeah, and you know, this actually might affect the election, which is coming up next
Yeah, I
Tuesday.
thought about
next
that. I
Tuesday.
thought about all these people that
you
were
know,
going to
so-
vote early, maybe didn't get to do that. So they'll
Could
I
be,
would
and
think
you know,
they'll extend it
And if, of
somewhat.
course, your
Everything-
home has been destroyed or you've been inconvenienced in that manner, you're probably not going to be as focused on doing that as you might otherwise be. So,
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
week next week.
And a 4-game World Series.
yeah,
Whoa.
The Giants won it all.
who would have thought?
Wonder how much money was lost.
I was going to say, it's a wonder somebody didn't throw the game so they wouldn't make more money.
Well, I mean, just think about the advertising dollars that weren't spent.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
You know, you got a 7-game series. That's 3 more games for advertising money to be generated for the network. So
Doesn't matter. Most of the networks have already made a bonanza on this election this year. So,
They got a lot of money this
well,
It's-
year.
people
it's
were
gonna
talking
be-
about that. You know, about ready for the election to be
Yeah.
over with.
Right.
Everybody's ready for it to be over with, except the comedians.
yeah.
They like this election.
Oh, by
Right.
the way, in case there's somebody out there that wants to see us, no, it's too late. When this show goes on, it'll be over. I was thinking about Harry and the Dirty Dog over at the Civic Center.
That's today.
That's today, so
That's
you watch
happening.
the
That's
show,
part of the
it's over.
outreach program over there.
Oh, well.
And we're ready to go right now, folks. You stick around. We're going to have some fun. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Jim Lewis. I'm a Democrat running for State Senate in District 16. Some of you may have heard that I'm a liberal Democrat. Well, it's the truth. I am a liberal Democrat. But you need to know that I've supported every conservative Democrat that's run for the last 30 years. I've given them money. I've put out their signs. I've made phone calls for them. That's the strength of the Democratic Party. We've got liberals, we've got moderates, we've got conservatives, and we all work together for the good of the United States and the good of the state of Tennessee. The strength of the Democratic Party is that we invite everybody. We invite everybody to join together for the good of this country. I'm Jim Lewis, and I need your vote. Early voting starts October 17th, and the election is November 6th. Thanks.
Vote Jim Lewis, a committed, strong, loud, clear voice for the people.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now. The
have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us now, as I promised earlier, the Tullahoma Fire Chief, Richard Chasteen. And Richard, can you kind of give us an overview of what causes hurricanes such as we are seeing right now in the Northeast? I mean, what sort of atmospheric conditions contribute to that?
Well, actually, down in the southeastern corner of the country, I'm going to let, actually, that's so easy. We've got a new guy, the new go-to guy, Winston Brooks, coming up.
Oh, and he knows about that.
That is so easy. I'm going to just defer that to his interview and let him kind of take the lead on that today.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see how satisfied you are with his answer, and then you can get back with me if you're not. How about that?
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
fair
all right.
Enough. Fair enough. In all seriousness, though, this is the time of year. Well, you got me on that one. I have to tell you. This
Jim.
is, yeah. Oh, yeah. What are those things?
Smoke detectors.
Smoke detectors, that's right.
And the key right now is this weekend, we change our clocks.
Right.
We fall back an hour. Okay? So when you change your clocks, we recommend you change your batteries. And the batteries are what is the life-saving line in a smoke detector. A fresh battery. While you're changing it, vacuum it out to make sure that the smoke can get into it, and test it. Now you just hold the test button, and it should make a beep.
Right.
And you should be able to hear those beeps throughout your house. If you can't hear them, you need more smoke detectors. The fire department has them. If you live inside the city limits, we will come out and help you install them. We will help you check them. If you need help changing the batteries, we can do that. Firefighters are glad to do that because this can save thousands more lives than a firefighter can save.
So if you can't hear that from any place in your house, you need to get some more smoke detectors.
That's right. And now they sell them that are interconnected, that are wireless. So you can put one up in your bedroom and one up in the hallway. If the one in the hallway goes off, it'll automatically set the one off in your bedroom.
So they communicate with each other?
Yes, sir, and they're wireless, so you don't have to worry about running wires. They're still battery operated. You could put one in the laundry room that's maybe on the other end of the house, maybe near the garage, one in your bedroom. That way you've got good communication throughout the house.
Okay, so some homes could conceivably need 3 or 4 probably.
Well, you absolutely need one anywhere you're going to be sleeping.
Right.
That's a requirement.
Right.
And then on every level. So if you've got a 2-story house, you at least need one upstairs, one downstairs, and then one in every bedroom.
Right.
But the interconnected ones are by far the best because if you're on the other end of the house, you may not know anything's going on until it's too late. So.
And I would assume they're readily available at many retailers in Tullahoma.
Yes, any supply store, department store, Lowe's, Southern Electric, Richards, all those places carry them. If they don't have enough in stock, they can get them.
Right.
And they run between $25 and $40 a piece for the interconnected kind. And of course, if you want this type that we give out, it's not interconnected, but it does have a 10-year lithium-ion battery. So when you put this up, you're good for 10 years on the battery. You still have to test it. You still have to test it and clean it, but when the battery's done, the detector's done because they're good for about 10 years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And by that time, there'll be something better out there, probably.
Well, probably. And while I'm here, I'd like to talk a little bit about fire safety as far as, we're just ending Fire Prevention Month. October's Fire Prevention Month, and the firefighters have been very busy throughout the first part of the school year, visiting all the schools, with the children, with the bounce house, with the pluggy, with Fire Pup, spreading the message. But I kind of fear that sometimes when the kids come home and they talk about it, the parents might just say, yeah. It's very important at home to have a fire drill, have a plan, make sure your detectors are working. Right now, the heaters are starting to come on. People are starting to use electric heaters, so we want to remind them about some hazards. You want to make sure that you don't use too small of a cord for a heater. This cord is just for a bulb, a light bulb, like a lamp cord, okay?
Right.
So if you're going to have an extension cord, you need to make sure you've got a heavy enough one to carry whatever you're carrying at the end. The longer it goes, the further this reaches, the bigger the cord needs to be.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to make sure you've got enough cord to carry the amperage. And if you don't, you can feel of it. If it's getting warm, the cord, it's not big enough.
Okay, so if you're plugging a heater into that first cord you brought up there, it's going to get hot on you, right?
You're asking for trouble.
Right.
And if this thing's laying across the floor, people walk on it, step on it, eventually you're going to have a problem.
Right.
You want to use the right wire for whatever you're doing. If you have an outlet, like an extension cord, and you got problems like this, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a splice like this, that's a spot for a fire.
Right.
Okay, so you want to make sure your continuous run in a sealed envelope like this, and when it goes into the plug, it needs to be flush into the plug like this one is. Clean, clean into the plug. Okay, don't have wires hanging out like this. That's just asking for trouble. Got outlets. If you've got outlets that don't have covers on them, go buy a 29-cent cover and put on it. It can keep sparks from coming out and causing a fire, and it can also keep a child or even an adult like John Gray from sticking his finger in there and getting shocked. Okay?
Right.
So you want to protect all of that the best you can. And then you have different kinds of wire. This wire would be in your wall in a house. This wire would be like underground outside, and this wire would be used for like a stove or a bigger appliance.
Right.
So always make sure you use the proper wire when you're doing a job. If you don't know what you're doing, call a professional. Let them do it, because a lot of fires occur due to electrical problems.
Right.
Okay.
You know, that was pretty amazing when you talked about this box right here. Because, you know, if there's something flammable outside this box, then you've got a major issue here where you could have prevented that problem for, as you said, 29 cents.
Yeah, if you look at your breaker panels, in businesses, residents, they recommend 36 inches clearance in front of that breaker panel. Well, this is power sitting there just like that breaker panel.
Right.
And if you have a power surge or a lightning strike or something and it goes back through the ground, it can literally blow sparks out this.
Right.
If you've got clothes piled up in front of these, furniture pushed up against it tight, and you don't have that cover, it can certainly increase your chances of having a fire.
Okay. Those are helpful things to know as well. I mean,
well, this time of year, you know, you're going to be having fireplaces burning, your gas heat. Let's talk about carbon monoxide real quick.
Okay.
Make sure if you have any kind of open flame, either inside your home or if you have a packaged unit that's a gas pack,
right.
Make sure, or a water heater, or a clothes dryer, or a stove, or a fireplace that's ventless.
Right.
Make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector as well as a smoke detector.
Okay.
And that'll keep you safe. If you have any questions, if you need any help, we'll be glad to come out and make some suggestions for you on what kind of detectors to put in, where to put them. And like I say, our guys will actually help you. They'll get up on the ladder and do it. If you don't feel comfortable, we'll be glad to do that, because we would much rather prevent fires than fight them.
Now, because you mentioned the carbon monoxide thing, because these detectors are not going to detect carbon monoxide, are they?
No, sir. That will not detect carbon monoxide. It is colorless and odorless, and it takes a special detector to do that. And most of those, you can get them that plug in, that have a battery backup.
Right.
And the carbon monoxide is so close to the same weight as air, it doesn't have to be up on the ceiling like a smoke detector does. It can be down in a wall outlet and function just as well.
Right. Okay.
So they're a little bit easier to install. You just plug them in and let them go through a test, and most of them have a little digital monitor, and they're showing you all the time that there's 0 carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
If you have an alarm, any kind of alarm, call us. We'll come out, check it, no cost.
Right.
But better to be safe than sorry.
So if that carbon monoxide detector goes off, you need to take some.
You need to move out of the room, out of the building, get everybody out.
Right.
Call us. We also bring Elk River Gas with us. They've got some real good detection equipment.
Right.
And they come out with us at no charge, and we check everything out and make sure it's safe.
Okay. And you know, that's one of the neat things about what I do here at Channel 6, because this carbon monoxide thing is something I stopped by the fire hall and Richard explained to me one day how that worked.
Yeah, because you had just moved into a new house.
I just moved into a new house, and I wasn't quite sure about that. So.
And the bad part is you don't smell it. You don't see it.
Right.
And if you don't think about it on the front side, it can be deadly. I mean,
What about the placement of these? Can you do you place them as you do these where you're sleeping, or you can put them anywhere?
Well, you can put them anywhere, but definitely on both floors.
Right.
And if you can put them close to where the source is, like if you've got a den with a ventless fireplace, I would definitely have one in there.
Right.
You know, because that's going to pick it up pretty quick.
Right.
If you've got heat, it's spreading throughout the house.
Right.
So anywhere you put them, just make sure you can hear them from your sleeping area.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're most prone to not wake up.
You're right. Exactly. And that's certainly something that could happen to you with carbon monoxide.
Absolutely.
All right, Richard, there's a sign over there that tells us how much time we got left in this segment. But because we're short of guests today, they're trying to milk this for all they can get out of it. So I'm assuming you don't know anything else, right?
Well, I just want to say that I don't know how much they spend on Matt Lauer's makeup and costume.
Right.
But y'all must have went to extremes with John Gray this morning.
Yeah.
Because he was quite the showman.
Well, you know, he usually gets most of the attention, being the big star that he is, you know.
I was impressed.
Yeah, matter of fact, I don't know how I got this interview with the fire chief. Usually they don't let me interview anybody important.
I think you drew the short straw this morning.
Richard, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Enjoyed
it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back in just a moment, folks. We're right after this.
I'm Judd Matheny, approving this message as your Tennessee State Representative for the 47th District. When some of you think of me as State Representative, you picture me in a coat and tie at the historic and beautiful state capitol. Nashville's a scenic city. From the Parthenon to the Ryman, it's easy to lose focus. I want you to know that when I serve there, all I can think about is improving your quality of life and protecting your rights here. Nashville's beautiful, but it has nothing on the citizens of the 47th District.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Good can overcome. That is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back. I'm so blessed today to be on the set with my friend Jackie Duncan, Coffee County Commissioner, and author of a brand new book.
Yes.
I am so excited. It's called Living on Purpose, The Poetry of Life. And there's a picture of you and your mama on the front, which I especially love.
Oh, I love it too.
You had to do that, didn't you?
She was sweet. I had to do that.
She was an awesome individual, and I'll bet she inspired a lot of this work.
She did. She did. She was probably one of the biggest inspirations in my life. So I'm eternally grateful.
I know you've written poetry most of your life. I mean, it seems like you've always got something on the tip of your tongue. And I was going to ask you when the book actually got published.
It just got printed about 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
So it's hot off the press.
It's hot off the press.
It's hot off the press.
Is it on sale here in town somewhere?
It is.
Where all can people find it?
Locally, it's at Hastings Bookstore, H&H Health Food Store.
In the mall.
In the mall. You can get it through JackieDuncan.com.
That could be you, couldn't it?
That could be me.
Yeah.
It's also all over the internet. Actually, it's a worldwide distribution.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It's on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, CBN website. It's on Chinese, Dutch, German websites.
Oh my goodness.
It's everywhere.
That's
so
wonderful.
If you'll Google Jackie Arnell Duncan. Arnell.
And you and I talked about.
Nobody ever knew that for a long time.
There's not another living soul
There's not
with the
another
name
living
Jackie
soul.
Arnell
That's
Duncan.
right. That's right. And I thank Mom and Dad for that. I despised that name I hid that name for a long time. The middle name, I just never did accept it too well, and about 10 people knew it until just recently.
And now everybody's going to know it.
Yeah.
And I know that this particular one, it has long poems, it has short poems. What do you think inspires you the most?
Daily living. Everything in there is a part of from my daily living or from someone else around me that I have watched go through something and was able to extract what they were going through and perhaps they didn't need to go through that, but
and it seems like there's almost always a message.
There is a message. There is a solution to every problem. There is a message that comes from every situation. There's always a moral to every story.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much how I tried to sum it up.
Can you possibly, in your wildest dreams, come up with your most favorite poem of all time? Did you have one that maybe you love it so much that you can remember it offhand?
Oh, I remember.
If not, it's okay.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I got caught one time, and I had to go to memory with several of them because I said I'll never get caught in this situation again. I was at a church one day, and friend of mine was going to give me the spotlight at the end of the service and tell this pastor, this is my friend, and he came in to visit with us today, and I'd like to have him to share a few words of wisdom with you.
And you didn't know he was going to do that,
I had been up all night the night before, and I traveled to get to that church in a snowstorm, and just wanted to go in and hang out with him that day, and I think I was late for my church service, so I thought, well, I'll go and hang out with him. And I got there, and they called me up, and I got up and stood in front of them, and I stood there, and I kicked the dust off my shoes, and I kicked the mat, kicked the floor, and I stood around, tried to think of something. Nothing would come to mind. And finally, I thought, after this, I said, I'll never get caught like that again. So I did get some. I memorized some of them. A few just in case. I said always. So.
Do you want to spit one out?
Well, I got one great one that I think would relate to every. Well, I've got several that I think, but anyway, one real good one I think everybody would relate to. It goes like this: "Oh, I have chased a dream a time or two in search of things on my own. I have seen the glittering gold of life and wandered far from home. The things I sought I already had when blinded eyes could see. For the place I left in search of my dream was the place that cried out to me, oh, there's something about the atmosphere. Kindness fills the air. Mama says there's so much love, God often visits there. If you search the whole world over, none other you'll find the same that likens her uniqueness or even shares her name. Her secret seems to have captured my heart, for my spirit yearns to be where love, peace, and hope reside. Tullahoma, Tennessee."
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
And that
love
it. I just felt good. I feel good about my town. That's all there is to it.
That is
Tullahoma's a great place to live.
I felt my heart touched as you said that. I almost have a big tear in my eye. That's beautiful.
Thank you. It's hanging in the Chamber of Commerce office, and police chief told me he got a copy. Chief Blackwell said he's got it hanging over his desk. So I appreciate that. It's.
Well, I know you came and spoke to a group that I meet with, and we just loved what you had to say, and every poem you read, and your inspiration from your mom and from people in your life. I was also thought it was cute the time you were driving to somebody's retirement. Was that it?
Yeah.
And you just got this inspiration to give a poem.
That's kind of when I got my poetry, I guess, got revitalized within me. I was on my way to work one day, and we had a guy that was leaving, a friend of mine. He was a local guy, and he was going to company, had a new contract, and I was working for Jacob Engineering at the time, and the company had a new contract in Florida, I believe. And so this friend of mine, Jerry Ray, he lived here, big, tall guy.
I know Jerry Ray.
And Jerry chewed tobacco, and I thought, ugh. But anyway, I wanted to get him a little gag gift, and so we were all giving gag gifts when somebody would leave or retire, and just roast them real good, you know. So I was going to give Jerry that can, a spit can, with a gold spit can, and roast him with it, you know. And the can didn't work out. The paint wouldn't stick to that Coke can that I tried to use.
So you were caught without something special?
Yeah, I was caught without something, and I was driving down the highway on my way to work for the luncheon, and words just started coming to me, and I thought, well, says, to the biggest, ugliest thing I know, I'm glad to see your ugly self go. And it just took a life on, it took its own life after that. I was scribbling, I was driving down the road,
and you're writing with
I'm
one
writing,
hand?
I'm looking at the road now always.
Is the police chief out
there? Yeah, no. I've told him that one too.
Yeah.
But I'm driving down the road, and I'm just writing, you know, you know where things go and how your writing goes. So anyway, you might not always be able to read it when you get there, but I can decipher it. If I get there, you know, and look at it quick enough, I know what I wrote. It's still stuck in my mind enough. So anyway, I scribbled it down, and I got in. It was the life of the party, I think.
I'm sure that it took their breath away.
It did. And then after that, they made me start writing for every time somebody would leave, you know, and so people got to leave them pretty quick there for a while, and a lot of them going. So, I mean, just different places, because we had contract splits, and they were getting new contracts and sending folks off different places. Folks would retire, so it was working out, and it just got me reactivated, I guess.
I'm loving just about everything you write, and I think we ought to make a mention of where you can get this book again. I know you said Hastings. And,
locally.
The H&H Health Food.
H&H Health Food Store. And let's see, where was it? Something.
And do you mind telling me how much the book is?
The book is $11.95, and I didn't set the price.
This is a
publisher,
soft cover. Is it in hardback?
It's in hardback, and it's in the electronic form.
And have you had a book signing yet?
I have not, but
we need to set one up, don't we?
We do, and I've got one. Scheduled for Motlow College.
Oh, good.
On the 12th, I believe, Monday the 12th. Yeah, I think I'll be there with Weldon Payne.
Oh, my goodness. You sure you want to be in the same building with Weldon?
Oh, Weldon's a good guy. I like
Weldon forever.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we're going to be there at Motlow College. I'm glad you mentioned that.
You know, one thing I do want to mention is I know you do a lot of work with children, and I think you have blessed so many lives with your work. And when you do the poems with children, do you have a special reaction that they have to your poetry? Do you feel that?
I do. There for a long time I worked with Tennessee leadership seminars and with Hugh O'Brien Youth Organization, Hobie, and I would have 13 to 17 kids in my group every time that I was just a team leader for, and I would always give them a copy of The Sky's the Limit. And that's one good poem that says, "No man can predict what heights in life that you can soar. Let no man put up walls that bound, nor chains, nor bars, nor doors. Trust and believe that you can climb beyond your wildest dreams. Not even you will know how high until you spread your wings."
That's beautiful.
I always give them a copy of that.
I feel like I've had this religious awakening.
And the kids at church always get a copy of that when they graduate.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, don't forget to look for the book Living on Purpose, written by Jackie Duncan. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
I love what you do. Thanks for keeping it up. We'll be back with more of Living.
You've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now Winston Brooks, who is new to Tullahoma and a new employee of the city of Tullahoma. And Winston comes to us, and I believe your official title is community coordinator. Is that correct?
That's right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning. And Winston has taken the place of Debbie Graham, who stepped down after many years of service.
I'm the new Debbie.
You're the new Debbie. Well, I don't know if I'd put it that way or not, but that's okay. Winston, kind of tell us a little bit about. Well, let's start off. You moved here from where?
I moved here from Chattanooga. I had been living there for about the past 15 years. Great community over there. Originally from Memphis, grew up, and then. Been here now about 18 months, close to 2 years. I feel very fortunate to be back in Tullahoma. It's a great community.
And you I believe, are married to someone that's from Tullahoma?
I am married to a local native, Shanna Bobo. And so we had talked for many years while we lived in Chattanooga about moving back to Tullahoma. And finally we decided that would be the best move for our family. And we hadn't looked back, and it's been a great opportunity since we've been here. So much going on, so much opportunity in Tullahoma, great place, quality of life, and for families.
You spoke of your family, so you have some children.
Yep, 2 young children, and 8-year-old Anna, who keeps me very busy, and 6-year-old Robert, who is just a great little boy. They are eager to learn and go to school, and always impressing me.
Right. Yeah.
And challenging.
It is challenging. Tell us a little bit about what your responsibilities are in your position as community coordinator.
Sure. Did you not want to talk about the tropical depression coming off the top of the North Africa?
I was going to get to that because the fire chief insisted that I do that. Well, let's just go ahead and talk about that, Winston. In our first segment, I asked the fire chief, who knows everything, about what's caused this hurricane situation in the Northeast, and he deferred this to Winston because he says Winston is an expert on it, and he didn't want to show him up or anything. So go ahead and tell us about that, Winston.
Well, you had asked what was causing Hurricane Sandy, and mostly a lot of those tropical depressions come off the northern top of North Africa. I need the green screen here to fully explain it. But then it formed into a hurricane and took the path and creating all kinds of havoc. So actually, our thoughts really go out to those folks up there.
Yeah, we don't want to make light of that by any stretch of the imagination. But.
Yeah, and following Chief Chastain and then Jackie Arnell Duncan, I mean, I was truly impressed and touched with his poetry. So.
Well, it was a great segment. But we thought we might try to put a little pressure on you since this is your first visit to our show.
Right. Okay, I appreciate that.
He actually answered the question. He had some clue here. So, all right, now I forget what we talked about.
You had asked my responsibilities at the city, and. Well, I'm responsible for administering state and federal grants, event planning, working with organizational development groups in terms of trying to recruit and retain business, communications director, public information officer, and play an important support role for the mayor, the city administrator, Daryl Brady, and all the other department heads, such as Chief Chastain, Blackwell, and all the way down through the rest of the departments at the city. And so, for example, in terms of communications, one of the new things that we've brought to the city is our Facebook page, which I think John was kind enough to mention earlier. It's facebook.com/TullahomaTN. And so it's been a great fun to develop that site and give citizens a place to go, kind of get a pulse of what's going on, make comments, add their pictures. And so the response has been overwhelmingly positive. But like, for example, this past weekend, so many events going on in Tullahoma. There was the Robert E. Lee fundraiser and fun run, Haunted Hayride, the Rock Creek concert series, trunk or treat at different churches, and some I haven't even mentioned. I'm sure I'm forgetting Jack Daniel's Barbecue. But then you can also go and check out the events that are coming up. And so y'all talked about some of those already today. One of those is tonight, which is the Franchise Forum at the Tullahoma Utilities Board, which is going to be 5 to 7. And that's a event that Daryl Brady and Mayor Curley and Diane Bryan at the Chamber have put together to try to recruit business into Tullahoma. And it's a creative idea to try to bring all the parties together that would be needed to bring a new franchise into town. And so it's going to be a great event tonight, and I expect some nice surprises that come out of that.
You are a big believer, I think, in social media, I gathered when you first moved here, and have had a lot of experience in that.
That's right, absolutely. My experience was basically through a communications background. I've got a master's degree in technical writing from the University of Memphis, a literature degree from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and while there, I also had the opportunity to study abroad at the University of Manchester and in England. And all that, when I started, the internet, websites, Facebook, all that was sort of a distant memory. But as I worked my way through my degrees, the internet sort of started to creep up a little bit. And I remember early on in one of my initial careers, I was in a marketing firm, and I'd gone to a conference, and a person made the comment that he was on the panel because he had been working on internet sites for 6 months, and the World Wide Web, the internet, social media, it's all progressed at such a fast pace, particularly within the last 20 years. And now we've got to the social media, which is really changing the way everybody communicates. Everybody can be hyper aware of what's going on. And you now have a new broadcast medium, is the way I like to look at it. I don't mean to slight Charter any. But anybody can have a broadcast station that has an internet connection and some video capability. And so it's a great way to inform the residents of Tullahoma what's going on, not only from a social standpoint, but also from public information. If there's a disaster, and power's out for any amount of time, the one tool that folks are going to have in their hand nowadays is their cell phone will still have a charge on it, so they'll still be able to broadcast information that way, as opposed to the old TV stations and radio stations. So there's so much power in the social media with Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, that it's really changing. Some people will liken it to the Industrial Revolution in the way that it's changing our society.
You mentioned, not to say anything about Charter or anything like that, but actually that's where it's gone exactly, and we do that quite frequently, quite often. That we'll do broadcasting on television, particularly our walking horse programming, but because a lot of them are in rural locations and such. But we'll also stream them at the same time.
That's right.
So it's really moving in that direction, and probably at some point it could all be internet based for all we know.
Well, that's a great way to look at it too. For you guys, it's just an extension of what you were already doing, and another way to get your message out. We do have a Twitter page. It's not very robust at this point in terms of its followers. So if you do Twitter, you can go to the City of Tullahoma at Tullahoma and see what's going on there and stay in touch. And it's got some great people that we're actually following in the business world, commercial real estate, and finance. And so if you're interested in that, it's a great way to kind of stay in touch with what's going on.
A number of your department heads have bragged on you about what a great job you're doing up there, and as a matter of fact, Richard, who was here earlier, and was talking about how when I think they presented the new fire pup at the city, that you had that out there on the internet just almost instantaneously.
That's right. Each Monday night, or every other Monday night at the board meetings, with the way social media is, you're able to record what's happening and upload it almost instantly. So, and that's been a lot of fun too, to sort of hone that craft.
You mentioned a lot of fun, and I know you've got a lot of responsibilities, as you named, working with Daryl Brady. I know you work with the mayor quite extensively and all the department heads, but I get the sense that you really kind of enjoy what you're doing, Winston.
Well, yes, absolutely. I'm very fortunate, and the job suits me very well, and I'm having a lot of fun. But at the same time, Tullahoma is very fortunate to have such committed leaders and such professionals, so it makes my job a lot easier, that's for sure.
And you, I know, worked with the city of Chattanooga. What did you do there?
I worked in partnerships with the city of Chattanooga. I didn't actually work with them. While in Chattanooga, I was involved with book publishing, newspaper publishing, and in a newspaper publishing is where I was actually able to work with the city quite a bit. And then I worked as a communications manager at the insurance company Unum there for 10 years.
I see.
That's right.
Okay. Well, hopefully the pace of life is a little slower here than it is Chattanooga, but welcome to Tullahoma, and I think you're going to be a great asset to the city. We appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming down and spending time with us and answering some stupid questions like the weather thing.
Hey, no problem. Glad to do it.
Winston, we appreciate it.
See you around.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after these messages.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And Halloween is here. That means Thanksgiving's not far away. And that means Christmas is right after that. And in the middle of all of it, we have the 41 Toy Convoy. We have Katie Ishii, who's here today to tell us about it. What year is it, Katie?
16.
16 years of toys for children in Coffee County.
Right. One year we got to even take them to help our hurricane kids in Pensacola.
Yeah. So what's happening this year? What's making this?
Wow.
I know it's always big and brand new and better, but what's happening this year?
Well, I just got a call yesterday that one of the trucks known as the Dirty Dozen that appeared in the Smokey and the Bandit movie will be joining the convoy. The Dale Earnhardt Senior Memorial Big Rig's coming.
Ooh.
And they've also informed me I better get another trophy or two because there's a lot of big rigs coming to town. And they said a couple of them over $100,000 rigs. And I'm just excited. I mean, the high school, Tullahoma High School, Coffee County, Moore County High School, all the principals sent out a flyer to their kids to encourage them to participate. I hope we back it up to McMinnville. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right, now where does it start?
All right, we line up at Coffee Middle School in Manchester.
That's right there at the interstate.
Right there at the interstate. And if you're getting off the interstate coming from Nashville area, you'll be facing the school, kind of do a dog leg across the road there. And lineup starts around 11. I get there at 10. There's people waiting for me when I get there. We roll at 1 o'clock. Now, don't let the weather fool you, because it says 40% rain. Well, that's Nashville. We got 10% rain. I've already put in my request to God about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nice, 63 degrees, pretty day. And
now, when is this?
Sunday.
This
Sunday, yes. Yeah. November 4th. And we roll at 1 o'clock. We do have a police escort. And all the show cars and vehicles have to register at the school so they can get in front of the convoy, because they lead us, more or less.
Right.
And we come down 55 with an escort, hit Jackson Street in Tullahoma, come all the way up through town. There's a picture of it right there. And we come all the way up through town, past the mall, and then we get on Atlantic and we backtrack downtown to Daddy Billy's. And several blocks will be closed down for the band. We have door prizes, trophies. The trophies are going to be awesome this year. We have a most patriotic class. We also have Young at Heart Award. And the oldest person you would not believe that ever joined the convoy, take a guess.
100.
94.
94-year-old
lady came, and she said, I told my boys that one of them was going to come with me or I was coming by myself. And she started laughing. She said, my oldest boy's 78. Like, oh my God. I said, and she said, my youngest one's 76, and they're both here. And so it's pretty awesome when you see all these different rides, and it doesn't matter how old your car is, how new your car is, how ugly your car is, how pretty your car is. They're all welcome, because it's all about the kids.
Right.
Everybody's asked to bring a new unwrapped toy, fly the American flag, and then to salute our military. Virgil T's got a new group he's singing with called Rebel Soul, and they do classic rock, southern blues, little country, and they're psyched up about playing.
I hear these are a bunch of youngsters.
They are. In fact, one of them...
They gonna let that old man sing with them?
They are going to let him sing. They said, come on, Virgil, and sing with us. Virgil actually wanted this guy to be his guitar player back 10 years ago. He was only like 15 then, but he wasn't old enough to get in the bars where they were singing.
Yeah.
So we ran into him on Facebook about a month ago, and first time we went up and jammed with him, they invited Virgil to be their lead singer. So they've been practicing like twice a week since then to have the convoy ready. So they're excited about it too. So.
Well, that's wonderful.
And I do want to mention the one thing.
Go ahead.
The door prizes this year. The local businesses, I cannot tell y'all thank you enough, because y'all have just been wonderful. There's just takes my breath away, really does. I mean, we've got some awesome door prizes. I mean, people have just been volunteering to help. Here, let me give you a door prize. I mean, yesterday I got a CD receiver. We've got baskets from George Dickel. I mean, we've got dinners for two, about 15, 20 dinners for two to give away. Got a night at the Ambassador. Got tool kits. I mean, just awesome prizes.
And all this will take place at Daddy Billy's.
Right, right. And I do want to ask people to please be aware when we come through town. If we're going through town, if you want to watch a convoy, the best place to be is on the side of the road. But please don't cut through the line, because that could endanger a lot of people. And we will have a police escort all the way through, with the lights will be blocked for us as we come through town. And good place to see this anywhere along 55, at the mall here in town, along Jackson Street.
Yeah.
And
park over at South Jackson's parking lot.
Right. Anywhere along there, and a lot of people bring candy and throw it to the kids as they come through. And Santa Claus will be there too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anything else? That's about got it.
You're coming, aren't you?
Well, of course.
Well, that's cool.
Of course.
And I hope everybody comes.
Katie Ishii and the Toy Convoy 16th year.
Ooh, I'm excited, yes.
I bet you are. Don't miss it, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
Being a representative, at least for me, is about building relationships. I consider each person that I meet in Nashville as an opportunity to make life better for the citizens of this district. 10 years ago, I was a freshman representative. Today, I'm Speaker Pro Tem of the Tennessee House of Representatives. That's a decade of connections that have brought jobs and prosperity to this district. Who you know is vital. Who you represent, that's what it's all about. I'm Judd Matheny, and I approve this message.
Over 1,000 tornadoes are reported each year. Would you know what to do if one was in your area? Hi, I'm Sarah Evans with a reminder from the American Red Cross to help yourself and your family be prepared before disaster strikes. Pick a safe place in your home where family members can gather during a tornado. Assemble a disaster supplies kit and conduct periodic tornado drills to practice. To learn more, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit www.redcross.org today. Thank you.
Waiting around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. We're happy today to have with us Chesley Murray Lee.
Yes.
And Mr. Louis Baldwin with the Tullahoma Daycare Center. Mr. Louis.
Mr. Louis, yes.
I'm so glad to see you. I don't get to
I'm glad to see you too, Peggy.
Anyway, we're going to talk today about some fundraising events for the daycare center, which is located in Tullahoma and is one of the vital establishments in our town. Chesley, you want to go ahead and say what it is that your husband, Dr. Lee, is setting up?
Yes, my husband's really excited about this because he's a family physician here in town at Universal Family Care, and he loves families, and this is a great way to give back to families and children in our area.
And so what is his plan?
So what his plan is he's going to, for the month of November 1st to December 1st, he wants to donate $5 for every single like he gets on his Universal Family Care page.
And we're hoping you guys in the back will put this on the screen, Universal Fam. There we go.
Yes. and what you do is you just go to Universal Family Care. You'll see a picture of Dr. Lee, and you'll see some pictures of our newly renovated office. That way you know you're in the right place. All you have to do is click like, and it's $5 for the Tullahoma Daycare.
So that's so easy.
It's very easy, and it's up to $1,000 that we can raise this month.
Can you do that as many times as you want to?
I wish you could, but it has to be different. You can only do it one time.
All right. I've always wondered about that. But how easy is that? And $5, that's very generous, by the way, and we really appreciate it because we know how important it is. Louis, there's something else that's going to happen with the Community Playhouse?
Community Playhouse. I was notified. Rosie Graham called me yesterday afternoon and said that they are going to give the proceeds for one night of the play. It's Over the River and Through the Woods, November the 10th.
November 10th. If you get tickets for Over the River and Through the Woods, to Grandmother's House we go. That's a play that's being done by the Community Playhouse here in Tullahoma, and all you have to do is call for you can either show up at the door or call for reservations.
And it is not a musical, it's a comedy, so Peggy and I are not going to scare you with another song. So it is a comedy.
It's a comedy, and I think it's a wonderful time because it's Thanksgiving coming up, and that fits the theme.
Now, the Daycare Center, we are a nonprofit.
Right.
We do accept donations.
And if somebody wants to donate, they just look up Tullahoma Daycare.
It's Tullahoma Daycare Center. It's 455-4197. Our box PO 478 in Tullahoma. I've been to Daycare Center for over 40 years, and we've been in existence for nearly 50 years, I assume.
And that's amazing. And I always think with the holidays coming up, what a great thing to do would be to give a generous gift to the daycare center instead of spending money on somebody that might not need it.
We've been newly renovated through the help of Trinity Lutheran Church. And if you want to come by and see us, we had an open house. It is.
Oh,
it's really cool.
Is awesome.
Very open space. And just come by and see us. Sometimes if you just want to get a hug. Our children give out hugs. We're big time with hugs.
How many children are there?
Right now we have 22 on roll as of today. Starting November the 1st, I think we'll have about 3 more. We can take up to 30 kids. Now, one thing we need to say is we do serve working parents.
Right.
Most of it is a nonprofit. We do take a child care voucher. But for a long time, our goal is to serve the working
parents that
you don't want to say,
need a place to leave their children where they can get some education and quality care.
We are licensed by the state. We open from 6:30 until 5. And just come by and see us if you'd like to have your child come in. And Chesley is one of our board members. And we've been doing some other fundraising. We've had some major setbacks as far as funding. I think most people are aware of the county cutback, and we have lost some funding from the city. And it's just a tough time for nonprofits. It's not just us.
It is. It's a tough time.
Nonprofits as a whole are suffering.
And the age group of the child that you have is
2.5
to 5.
Yeah. So they go to a public kindergarten.
And there's so many parents that have to work, husband and wife, and they're making maybe minimum wage, and they need a quality place for their children. And I'm so blessed when I know that people are working hard to try to pay their bills.
It is. That's the one thing. Working. That's the big thing.
That's the big key.
It is. We want to keep these people working.
Now, if there's somebody out there that needs to investigate the possibility of bringing their own child, what do they do? Just call you?
Okay, they can call us by the center, come by and pick up an application. We'd love to have them come in. One thing we close 2 days of Thanksgiving, so we won't be there. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Thanksgiving, and normally close for 2 weeks of Christmas during that school break. So, but if you'd like to come by, you need a child, then child care, come by and see us. We'd love to have you. And
don't forget these fundraising events.
Don't forget
the events.
Please donate money.
Let's go back to your husband and family care, and going to your Facebook page and looking up Universal Family Care. And remember, you just go to Dr. Lee's name and hit like.
Hit like. That's it.
I mean, how hard is that?
Right. Yeah. And if you can't, if you don't have Facebook, call Louie up with a donation.
Right.
We won't turn down money to help these children.
Call your friend that has
Facebook.
Yes. And be sure that they do this thing for this wonderous gift.
It's just an easy way to raise money. It doesn't cost you a thing.
Exactly. It doesn't cost a thing. Just wouldn't cost you time.
Right. It takes 1 second to click a button.
Click a button.
That is so generous. I love the idea. And then don't forget Over the River and Through the Woods if you go on November 10th. And I believe the play starts at 7:30.
I believe so.
I wish I could say it's Friday night or Saturday night.
I'm not sure.
I believe it's the 10th is Saturday.
You think it's Saturday?
Okay.
So a big portion of the proceeds will go to the Tullahoma Daycare Center. And so that's a good time to come out and see come out and see the play anyway, because Community House does wonderful work, and I know several of the characters in this play, and it's going to be fun. So I would hate to see anybody miss it.
But try to come on the 10th.
Try to come on the 10th.
Press like and come on the 10th.
Yeah, press like and come on the 10th. That's easy.
That's easy.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, let's, anything other big things that, are y'all still doing the open houses?
No, we hope to get that restarted. It's just one of those things that sometimes things outlive their usefulness, but I think we hope to go back and reestablish that. Yes.
Because that was a nice...
It was a nice thing. It was a good fundraiser for us.
And I think people look forward to it.
I think they did.
They did.
Yes,
they
did.
Forward to
they
it.
did.
And maybe nobody's cleaned up their house, and maybe they don't open their house.
We had some fun. It's just one of those things that people, they feel rushed at Christmas. I think the board was looking into some other fundraisers to possibly do. They were looking at a tour of gardens for
in the
spring. And, several things like that we're looking at. But when you're a nonprofit this time of year or any time, you're out there really trying to raise funds.
I just feel like that it's a great place to give your money, because you're helping not just one person but a group. group of people.
Right.
And a group of people that are struggling and trying to
Hey,
make nice,
if you could
decent
put
living.
American City, and if we were like Annie, we had a Daddy Warbucks.
There you go.
We could sing tomorrow. So we'd look for a Daddy Warbucks.
That would come in and
we would
help us
come in
out.
and help us out. We would love that. And I would put on a red wig and I would sing. That would be scary, but I would do it.
I'd come and see it.
I think we could sell tickets.
Chesley, you're so gracious to be a part of this operation and your husband's generosity. I'm touched by that, and I'm hoping that everybody's going to remember what we've said here today. And if you've forgotten every word we said, call Tullahoma Daycare.
Right.
They'll give the information out again.
And
Thanks for coming.
Yes. And Dr. Lee's office, I will give you. Yeah, you can call them. They will know.
Yes, they will know as well.
I'm so glad to know that you grew up to be helpful and generous and wonderful. And thanks
you're
for coming.
kind. Thank
Louie,
you.
I
Yeah,
love
Miss
you.
Peggy. Thank you, baby.
We'll be back with more of Libby.
All right.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Oh, May, we're laughing because this is fun, folks. I hope you're having fun. We have a great time here doing this because we have great people that come to be with us each week, and this is the lovely Carla Bloom, and what else can you say?
Thank you.
That is Carter Fane right there.
My sidekick.
That's right.
What we're calling him anyway.
That's right.
That's right.
And it's sportsman and businessman's time of year. You were on about a month ago to sort of kick this off, and we're getting closing in, aren't we?
We're here
What's
Saturday.
the date? Saturday. That's it. And excited?
Oh yeah.
We are very excited.
Everything's pretty well come together, hasn't it?
It has.
It always does.
It really has.
Well, because y'all work very hard at making this happen. You're very professional about it.
Professional. We'll take that.
We'll
take it. We'll take that.
Well,
but, we've somehow gotten another 500 people interested in coming this year, and a few of those are helping out, and most of those are coming to enjoy themselves.
Isn't that marvelous?
You know what's great this year is that I actually had people calling me before the kickoff meeting to schedule their tables, to go ahead and reserve their tables, and I've got just a few seats left. If anybody wants one.
How many people can you cram in there?
We cram them in every corner that there is.
Do you put them in the hall? You don't have them out in the hall
we
yet,
did that
do you?
the first year, and we learned from that. We had them in the hall and in the outer rooms, and that was not a good thing. So this year, and for the last 5 or 6 years, we just occupy the main room, and you can get about 450 people in there. Yeah. And we get it
full.
About
475.
The good thing is when you have that many people around, they're not all sitting at the same time. They're up milling around.
No.
We've got an auction that's a silent auction that's got 250 plus items in it. So, you know, there's always people moving around looking at that. And then we do get them in there and entertain them for about an hour with the live auction, which is about 30 to 50 items, depending on what we decide to put in it. But
that's great.
It's good.
And that is this Saturday. What time is it?
It's a soft start at 5. And what that means is we open the doors, we have the auction ready. You can come in and start bidding on items and getting refreshments. But the real event starts kicking off around 6. And then we'll start dinner at 7, live auction at about 7:30 or 8, and the Ultimate Oldies will come out and entertain everyone. That's right.
That's great. I love those guys.
That's right. Special sportsman-only show starting at about 9. And we use approximate times because everything's flexible.
Well, of course, because this is an evening of entertainment and fun.
It is.
Right.
Nobody wants to. You don't schedule fun.
That's
well,
right.
and
Fun
the most
happens when
important
it
thing
happens.
is that this is an evening of making money. We are in the business to raise money to give to this community,
Right.
people who are in need. And that's the most important thing. And we have to mention everybody who donates to us. We appreciate so much. All of those silent auction items and live auction items are donated. The majority of them are donated locally. We have a few that come from South Africa and Wyoming and lots of places like that. But the majority.
What do you get from South Africa? I'm just
hunt.
curious.
We do a
safari.
A
Yep.
safari, and we auction it off. They've donated that every year.
They've been doing that for 10, 15 years now, and it used to have the option of being a photo safari, but now it's simply a hunting safari, and it's a once in a lifetime experience. But we have stuff. We have something for everyone. We're going to auction a country ham. We're going to auction off a shotgun. We're going to
jewelry.
All kinds of jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yes. Very,
God.
very pretty jewelry.
Yeah. Watch out, guys.
Yeah.
She knows how to get to your pocketbook through your wife's eyes
and
desires.
And it's going to be right there. Christmas is coming. Get that knocked out of the way.
For a good cause.
That's right.
Yes, it is for a good cause.
Yeah, for a good cause.
But we have loads of gravel, and I mean we have a little bit of everything.
You know what? Gravel's gotten really expensive too.
That's right.
So we're gonna auction 5 loads of crushed stone. We're gonna auction 20 yards of concrete. We're gonna sell some duck hunts. We're gonna do it all. Power tools and chainsaws and
beauty items.
Yeah, Botox.
There you go.
Maybe a vasectomy.
Yeah. We just.
Can you say that on there?
Yeah, you just did. Oh, me. Yeah. So these doctors are getting involved with this
fun.
thing, huh? Everybody's involved. Everybody gives. And the thing about it is when they do, then you have an opportunity to take this money and change some people's lives.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. It is.
That's right.
Agree. We've helped children with dental needs get those needs met. We've helped families struggling to bury their loved ones, meet that commitment. We've helped victims of fire and other natural disaster get those immediate needs taken care of, whether it be shelter or food. Right. Scholarships for high school seniors in Coffee and County and Tullahoma and surrounding communities. We're helping kids go to school. We're the list goes on and on. We help folks that are freezing get heat. We help folks that are burning up in the summer get relief. We helped. The list just really goes on. That's what's unique about our charity is that we have the ability to meet multiple different needs throughout the year.
Right. Isn't that great? I mean, isn't that great? I think it is. I think it's wonderful.
Fantastic.
And the fact that you get so much joy, not just, joy comes from giving, but there's so much joy involved in the production of this whole thing. Every time every time you come on here, you know, even if it's months in advance, you know, your faces are all lit up, and this is fun. This is fun to do.
It is fun.
And
it is. It's a lot of work, and we do get a little giddy as it gets closer and closer, because it takes a lot of effort, a little bit of luck, and a lot of help from other folks.
A lot of folks, and the devil's in the details. Always.
That's right.
It is.
Always. That's why it's not going to be on time, everything.
That's exactly right.
You get to enjoy that night. All the hard work's done.
We're letting it marinate sometimes. We're doing that on purpose.
And we might get another $5 donation
out
before
of somebody. Out of somebody.
That's right.
That's great. So if someone doesn't have a reservation or a ticket or a table yet, it's not too late.
It's not too late.
How do they get in touch with you?
They can call me at 212-6045. I don't have any full tables left, but I do have seats
here and there.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to have a table or a seat to come. They can come at 5 o'clock and mingle through, make a donation.
Don't have to eat.
No, you don't have to eat.
But
you can come and bid on silent auction items.
If you want to, I imagine you could take a plate and stand in a corner and eat if you wanted to.
We'll figure something out.
There'll be a way.
We'll figure something out. And you know, if you want to give to this organization, there's a few different ways. One, come to the event, have dinner with us. So call Carla. You gave your number? And if you want to participate in the raffle, we have a $5,000 grand prize raffle, and we've got tickets available for that up throughout probably 8:30 throughout the evening there. We take cash donations, and we obviously take goods and services to be donated and then auctioned off in the live or silent auction.
Right.
There's ways to give. Just call us.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you can call that number anytime.
And thank you.
Thank you.
For what you do and for making this always fun when y'all show up.
We appreciate you having us.
I like it. I like it. I like you. I like you. Hey, y'all make pretty good sidekicks. Y'all kick one another every now and then.
Yeah, we do.
Right. We've been doing this 29 years.
I love it. I love it. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weekly, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
We're trying to figure out who's on and who's off.
Who's on and who's off? I know. Well, I think we're all on.
That's one of the things that make television fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
We had some interesting people
Now,
today.
didn't I tell you we were going to have a good show today?
Really, there was some really interesting people.
Yeah.
I want to remind people to look for Jackie Duncan's book.
Yes.
And look for to go to the daycare center's website. What it wasn't daycare center.
Well,
what was
go
it?
to Dr.
Family.
Universal
University Family Care. Right. And
Mark Lee's website and hit like, and it'll get Louis Baldwin $5.
Exactly. And then go to see the Community Playhouse production of Over the River and Through the Woods. And you will get money donated from that November 10th show to the daycare center.
Sounds good.
I'm so impressed that I remembered half of that.
I am too. I am too. Peggy's still got it.
There's a lot of generous people in this town.
A lot going on. And there's
and of course,
a lot
that couple you just interviewed, my gosh, that's going to be a great event.
That deal is just
and that's this weekend,
huge.
yeah.
It is huge.
It's a huge
been going
event.
on for a long
and they get
time,
some wonderful donations.
Yeah,
really good donations.
They really did. They really did.
Well, and they do good. They do good stuff.
Yes, they do.
Good stuff
they
with
do
that
a lot
money,
of good stuff.
And that's what it's all about. And
did I hear him say that this was their 29th year or something like that?
I believe so. I believe this 29th year.
Started by Carter's dad and some others, I think, years ago. So
his dad and his Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, that's right. So unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've been to that event a few times.
Have you?
Yeah. And they used to have it on the farm, I think, on their farm.
Right.
I mean,
I
got
remember
so big
they
had
did
to
used
move.
to do that on the farm.
Well, one year they had the Titans cheerleaders there
Right.
and everything, so it's just
It's huge.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, Pete was very involved with the Titans early on.
Was he?
Yeah. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think he was involved in the name selection.
No kidding.
I didn't know
of
that.
the team
yeah.
and of the of course it was called the Adelphia originally.
But I love the sound of Tennessee Titans. I think that's so cool.
And that was, of course, it was I wouldn't call it was the Adelphia Coliseum because of the company that were sponsoring it, and I still think the Titans need to be in the Coliseum.
I want to send a hello out there to my Aunt Ruby Thompson.
Hi, Aunt Ruby. How you doing, dear?
She's been real sick, and she's doing great. And my cousins from Texas were here, and they went to visit her, and she just looked wonderful. And she's 98 years old, and I'm so proud of her.
Well, maybe she needs to come ride in the convoy.
Yeah.
She would do it, probably on a motorcycle.
Hey, on a motorcycle or in one of those big rigs.
She would. She would do it.
41A Toy Convoy is this Sunday as well.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's a big
Saturday
event.
night. We've got the sportsman's
banquet. Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
banquet?
sportsman's businessman's banquet.
And
Sunday's toy convoy and over the river and through the woods is not this
Not
week.
this weekend, but next weekend, I believe.
Fiddler on the Roof is at Manchester
this weekend.
Tell
So
them
that's-
the Wildcat football on Friday night.
So don't tell us you don't have anything you
Don't.
can do. You know, get
if
out
you
there.
ask me, it's your problem.
There's a lot to choose from.
There is a lot to choose from, and isn't that
This
wonderful?
life's full of fun. You better
And
go out and get you some.
I guess we send out our blessings to the people on the East Coast that are in the storm.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody stayed safe. And there you go.
Vote.
Oh my gosh.
When it's time to vote, go vote, because you can't complain unless you vote.
And please make sure you study the issues and vote your best wise decision.
All right, so it's time to go.
I've already voted.
I have too.
I have voted.
Time to go. 3, 4.
Is it
We're
time
out
to
of here,
go? Are we
folks.
gone?